with three big hitters from three major parties on the campaign trail.
Labour Deputy Leader Harriet Harman visited both Norwich and Ipswich. The Conservative Party chairman Eric Pickles came to Luton, while the former leader of the Lib Dems, Charles Kennedy, was meeting voters in Cambridge.
The leader of UKIP, Lord Pearson, has been in the region too, and the hot topic, the second big televised debate. Rhiannon Mills reports.
Tonight, their leaders will battle it out again for your vote on TV. Today, our region had visits from their warm-up acts.
You're not browsing, you're shopping, but for a different kind of merchandise.
Shopping for votes in Cambridge was the former Lib Dem leader Charles Kennedy with new candidate Julian Huppert. Charles Kennedy is certainly no stranger to being in the spotlight himself. So far, the Lib Dems have managed to buy themselves quite favourable headlines, but today could be the day to give some advice to Golden Boy Nick Clegg, especially as they continue to set out their stall. After turning the polls, today the papers turned on him, his policies and revelations about political donations being paid into his own bank account. So any words of wisdom from the elder statesman? You're used to making headlines. What is your advice to Nick Clegg today?
Oh, I think there's only one thing worse in politics than being talked about, and that's not being talked about. The Conservative supporting press in this country will have you believe by polling day that Nick Clegg is in favour of the slaughter of the firstborn, and I would take it all with a great pinch of salt.
Eric Pickles was doing his own shopping for votes at a supermarket in Luton, but the Conservative Party chairman wasn't in the mood to make accusations about the Lib Dem leader. Instead, he was warning floating voters that a vote for Nick Clegg would not lead to change, but mean more of the same.
It's a straight choice. We want 5 more years of Gordon Brown making things worse, or do we want to put David Cameron in? And there are lots of ways you can vote for Gordon Brown. You can vote for Labour, or you can vote Liberal Democrat, or you can vote for an independent.
In Norwich, it was a Labour big hitter pulling in the crowds, arriving by train Harriet Harman, the deputy leader. This was a whistle-stop tour for her, joining Norwich North candidate John Cook for a chat with voters and a quick cup of tea before then heading off to Ipswich. She's convinced she won't be the only one putting her feet up in front of that TV debate tonight.
I think the debates have re-engaged people, and I think although there's a lot of people who are still undecided and making up their mind and no doubt going to be watching the debate tonight, I think that more people will vote, and that's a good thing.
Also in the region today, Lord Pearson, the leader of UKIP. He met up with fishermen at West Mersey in Essex, whose livelihoods are under threat by EU fish quotas. His solution was clear and not unexpected.
The only way is to leave the European Union and then take back our fish to satisfy our own fishing industry, to build it up to what it was in 1972 and more as a priceless national asset, and then to lease out any surplus fish to foreigners.
Of course, those big debates are meant to help us all make up our minds, but not everyone I spoke to in Cambridge is a fan of the TV standoffs.
Are you going to watch the debate tonight?
Some voters, I think, are treating it like an X Factor contest, popularity, and I think you've got to get beyond that, really.
Up against each other on a stage, if you like, is really good.
I'm unlikely to watch them, if I'm honest, but they seem to have made a big difference.
While some may be turned off, it's thought that many others will be tuned in. And as that last TV debate proved, it's very easy for political tastes to change overnight. Rhiannon Mills, Anglia News in Cambridge.
So tonight, of course, is the second of the leaders' TV debates. The first one on ITV made massive headlines, with Nick Clegg's performance leading to a Lib Dem surge in the polls.
So what can we expect tonight? Well, our political correspondent Matthew Hudson joins us now. Matt, I imagine the seats will be filling up quite soon, but where exactly are you?
Well, Jonathan, I'm privileged to be in the august surroundings of the Cambridge University Union Society, a place where over 200 years has safeguarded intellectual debate and freedom of speech. I mean, the people who may have sat exactly where I am debating include former Prime Minister of America, Ronald Reagan, the Dalai Lama, Jesse Jackson, and people from other walks of life, including Clint Eastwood and the comedian Joe Brandt. But of course, Cambridge University has produced 15 prime ministers over the years, going from Walpole up to Stanley Baldwin, but many, many more modern politicians as well. The leader of the Liberal Democrats, Nick Clegg, he studied at Robinson College. Michael Howard, former leader of the Conservatives, he was at Peterhouse. And Norwich's own Labour stalwart, Charles Clarke, he studied at Keyes. Also some more controversial figures, both Enoch Powell was here, and indeed Nick Griffin, the leader of the BNP. Well, I'm going to be watching the room with a whole room full of students of all political persuasions and none. It promises to be quite an evening. Now, Andrew Chapman is the president of the union. Andrew, what do you think it's going to be like tonight?
Well, it's going to be another huge evening, Matthew. The last one was watched by 10.5 million people, and we all saw the kick in the polls that Nick Clegg got as a result of it. I thought the fascinating thing about the debate was the opportunity it gave for the public really to scrutinise policy. My impression on most issues is that most people generally agree with the Liberal Democrats' options, and putting Nick Clegg on the same platform as Brown and Cameron gave him an opportunity to articulate his views and people an opportunity to make their minds up based on policy.
Excellent, Andrew. Thanks very much indeed. Of course, everyone will be watching Nick Clegg. Can he build on this bandwagon he's got going? Will the other parties, particularly the Conservatives, find a way to bring him back down to earth? After the debate, I'll be talking to some of the students who are here to get their reaction from it, and you can hear what they had to say on Anglia Late Edition later tonight.
OK, thanks, Matt. And as Matt just said, Anglia Late Edition is just after midnight.
And before that, the Tonight programme on another of the issues that is certain to sway and influence the voters.